extracurricular is about physical activities in lots of ways, but also it's about intellectual growth and development. And when they're here, every student is assigned a one-to-one tutor. So there's never a tutor group with 10 or 15 or 20 students and one teacher looking after their pastoral care. It's always one-to-one. So I want them to walk in the door and immediately feel, I feel safe here. This is where I'm valued. This is where I'm going to be good.
Interviews with headmasters of schools are regularly featured on our channel. By the way, please let us know in the comments if you find this format interesting. This time, we decided to visit MPW Cambridge, an independent private sixth form college located in the famous city of Cambridge. Adil from Mariati was lucky enough to meet its head, Tom Castron, and learn more about the college itself, its multicultural environment, extracurricular activities, importance of personalized learning and tutoring at school, and much more. Adil is now in Tom's office, so let's get started.
Tom, pleasure to meet you, sir.
And you too.
How are
Thanks
you
for
today?
coming. I'm good.
Yeah,
Very
finally I made it.
Well done. It's lovely to have you.
Yeah, coming from Windsor, it's about what 1
2.5
hour?
hours? Two,
No,
is it?
no, it's not that far. It's about 1.5 hours.
Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, Cambridge is closer, and on the train to London, 50 minutes, so it's quite accessible.
Okay, MPW, famous MPW,
Yes,
isn't it?
absolutely.
So you have London, Cambridge,
And Birmingham.
and Birmingham as well. Okay, so 3 branches.
3 branches, all philosophically very similar, but in very different settings. You know, London, a big global city.
Yeah.
Birmingham, again, you know, millions of people, and then Cambridge, this academic, intellectual hub. So
It is, isn't it? There's like a student atmosphere here in the city.
definitely, you walk outside.
Everyone riding bikes.
Everyone on bikes.
With books and
You feel the intellectual
the
ambition
baskets,
and
yeah.
history, and it's culturally, it's a unique place, Cambridge.
It is. I love Cambridge.
Yeah, me too.
I always, you actually live here.
I live just outside. The traffic's not great, but you know,
the
as a
traffic
city, you know, it's a beautiful place to wander into.
Excellent. You're such an experienced man. You are in the world of education.
I've been doing it a while.
A while, yeah.
Yes.
MPW is very lucky to have you.
Well, I feel the other way. I feel like I'm very lucky to have found it. You know, it's you know, you walk into a school and sometimes you feel that bond. And on my first visit here, I felt very relaxed and at home straight away.
And home straight away. It's very important.
Yeah, totally. And it's the same for the students. I want them to walk in the door and immediately feel, I feel safe here. This is where I'm valued. This is where I'm going to be good. And I'm going to be
home away from home.
Yeah, totally. And if they feel that way when they walk in the door, then some of their toughest classes maybe not quite so bad.
It's all about psychology, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. And you know, my job is to provide the environment for the staff and for the kids where they can thrive. You know, our systems are good, our structures are strong academically. What I need is for them to walk in the door and think, yeah, you know, I'm ready to learn, I'm ready to succeed.
You worked previously for a very traditional school, isn't it? What
Absolutely.
made you change for... This is a very modern setting, isn't it, MPW? It's like sixth form college.
Yeah.
What made you change?
Good question.
I think the MPW brand is a strong one, and I think it's always had associated with it excellence in whatever it does. I love the international side of things. You know, I feel like the world is changing, education is changing. You walk into any city in the UK and you see the diversity, the culture, and I've always wanted to be in a school that has that, and we're 50-50 international and local, which is really important for me. I want the local students to be exposed to the 45 different nationalities we have.
Wow.
And I want the international students to come here and bring their amazing culture and, you know, the diversity that they have, and I want to see it just mixing in a really beautiful way at the college, and it does. And all my friends from school are in England, from London. You know, I want these boys and girls to have friends all around the world.
We know how crucial English is for your career, but let's be honest, learning it can feel intimidating, especially when you're moving beyond textbooks. The good news is that in international schools, this challenge often fades away. Surrounded by students from all over the world, you'll find yourself getting comfortable with English in no time, thanks to the diverse environment and the great language support offered. If you're curious about the language requirements at foreign schools, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can easily request a consultation through the link in the description below. Now let's dive back into our conversation.
And how many students do you have?
So we have 220.
220? Okay, so you're like a small boutique kind
Absolutely.
of college, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. Everybody knows everyone. My door is always open. I see every student 10 times a day. They walk past my door, and I wander around, and
and
I like it that way.
Tom is saying the truth, because when I came, the door was open.
Yeah.
We just closed it now for the sake of filming.
It means it's hard for me to do work sometimes because I'm constantly talking. But it's
Talking
good.
to students.
Yeah, and fundamentally, I'm a teacher. I've spent 24 years of my career in classrooms, surrounded by kids, delivering my subject and my passion. So, as principal, sometimes I don't get such a chance to do that. So I want to be in the college. I want to be visible. I want them to know me and feel that they can come and knock on my door and say, hi, can I talk to you?
It's very important to have that relationship, isn't it?
so.
Okay. And you are father of two kids, one?
Two little boys.
Two little boys.
11 and 12.
Okay, so your parents...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But as I was saying earlier, they're still young. They're not quite that teenage years of challenging and growth, But they keep me on my toes.
Keep me entertained.
They eat a lot.
That's a good saying.
I spend a lot of time cooking for them.
I love cooking
and in
too.
goal, they play a lot of football and sport, but they love their music, their drama. So it's how they should be.
And also, you used to be a boarder yourself,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So you have that boarding experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I went to boarding school as a 14-year-old, but obviously I've also worked in boarding schools for 20 years as well. So I know how important it is to understand how the students are feeling, being away from home if they're boarding, and the extra challenges that brings to them. And I think that's, we need to remember that, that often they're in a different country, in a different language, away from their families. And as you said earlier, we need to provide that family, that home from home.
Exactly.
And that care and that support for them. And I think that's important.
MPW Cambridge offers two residences, Tripos Court and Malta Road. Tripos Court is just a short walk from the college, near a lovely city botanical garden. It is a secure, purpose-built student accommodation with its own garden. Malta Road is situated slightly further away in a very desirable area. The housing here consists of 5 townhouses and self-contained apartments in the neighbouring Beechwood House complex. There are different types of rooms, so you can choose the one that suits you best. Now let's learn about the so-called tutoring at the college.
I don't want to speak to you about the academic side of the college, because it's unquestionable. You have such a good results, GCSE, A-level. You have one GCSE program for those who come to UK in the age of 15, right?
Yeah.
So you can do that extensive GCSE program at MPW Cambridge.
Yeah.
I want to speak more of this pastoral kind of care side, yeah? So how do you look after your 14/18-year-olds?
I think, as you said earlier, it's small, it's boutique, and our processes of admissions are very strong, and we make sure that we get to know them very nicely before they join. With open conversations, and when they're here, every student is assigned a one-to-one tutor. So there's never a tutor group with 10 or 15 or 20 students and one teacher looking after their pastoral care. It's always one-to-one. So I have 6 tutees that I see every week, one-to-one. They're booked into my diary, and their diaries, we meet for 45 minutes. And
what do you discuss?
I get to know them, and they get to know me, and I get to, just by the way they walk in the door, I can see what kind of day they're having from their body language. We talk about, the academic. We talk about how's your recent tests, how's your recent homeworks. But I think the better we get to know them, the more the more open, the more understanding, the more recognition we have at those times when maybe it's not going so well, and when I need to step in, and when they need support, or equally when I need to just praise them and say, wow, you're being amazing.
You do that too?
Yeah, well, mostly that, of
It
course.
does motivate, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that the more I get to know them, the better advice I can give them for their university pathways. I've got a brilliant boy at the moment who I've been tutor for a year and a half, and the longer I knew him, the more I realised that maybe, you know, we should look at apprenticeships as well as universities. Apprenticeships in the UK are growing, and there's some amazing opportunities there, and big multinational companies of degree-level apprenticeships, and so we're applying for UCAS universities, but also applying for apprenticeships, and that just came out of just my conversations, getting to know him and his interest, and thinking, hey, maybe let's try this too. And I think, we give better advice the better we know them. It's not generic, you know, UCAS advice, university advice. It's personal. It's tailored to exactly that individual boy and girl, and that only comes from our relationships.
The tutoring at school, like many other teaching methods and approaches, first was offered in the UK. It began at Oxford and Cambridge universities in the 19th century and was later adopted by many English schools and colleges. Tutors or mentors are typically the most experienced staff members, including current teachers. Meetings with them usually take place in an informal and friendly setting, so parents sending their children to study in the UK can rest assured there will be dedicated and professional people who will take great care of them.
And I know that your university destinations are great. Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, I mean,
and not just the UK.
No, and I think that's really important. You know, we because it's those one-to-one conversations, we can invest time in exploring the different avenues for them. And you know, for me, there's lots of statistics that schools use to show their success, percentage A stars or percentage students to certain universities, but for me it's the percentage of the first choice, whatever that first choice is, whether that's a university in Italy or whether it's an apprenticeship in London or it's Cambridge. You know, their first choice.
The first choice.
Yeah, the thing that is the most...
Not the second, not the third.
The first choice, the thing that's the most important, the best decision for them, the best next pathway for them. And if we can get, you know, as many of our kids, all of them ideally, to their first choice, then that's my job. You know, and that's what we aim to do.
Do you think being educated in the UK is just about being educated in the UK in like academically? What about fun?
It has to be fun.
It has to be fun.
I still remember my sixth form at school. And it's when, you know, I became a man, and it's, you know, you go from being a child into an adult, and it's those formative years, and suddenly your subjects go from 9 or 10 down to 4 or 3, and you start to explore and give your life a direction. You know, I went from 10 GCSEs to 3, English, Geography, Economics, and that immediately steered me in a direction. And that's exciting, and it's exciting for us here to have these amazing young people and start to point them in the direction of their lives, that their lives are going to take. And I want them to have an amazing time, and if they're having fun and if they're happy, you know, I know that when I drive in on a Monday morning, if I have an amazing weekend, then Monday morning is okay. Because I'm thinking, I've had a fun weekend. This is
No one likes Mondays.
I do. If I've had a good weekend, then my Monday morning drive is easy.
Thumbs up who doesn't like Mondays. Okay. What about extracurricular activities?
I mean, I think that's really important, and you know, I want them to have diversity in their experiences. You know, we're a very small school. We don't have big playing fields. You know, we're as you say, boutique, but you know, we use local sports facilities. DFE as of next year is being introduced, which is really important. We have an amazing student council.
For those who don't know, DFE is Duke of Edinburgh Award.
And that's really important for their CVs. You know,
very important.
For, you know, a gold, silver or bronze award on their CVs, it's, you know, to achieve that is a big deal and seen as very important.
And you are very central as well.
Yeah. 5 minutes walk into the middle of town. So the first college is about...
It's like a fast walk or a slow walk?
A normal size walk. I've not got the longest legs. So normal size walk. And I mean, I must say also the extracurricular, we have an amazing Oxbridge Society and a medical society where the students who want to be medics or want to apply for Oxford or Cambridge, it takes a lot of time and effort. It's almost like another A-level for the time you're doing it. And, you know, they have special timetabled lessons in their week where they have specialist support on medical applications, Oxbridge applications.
Interesting.
And the student council I mentioned, they're amazing. You know, they meet, they organise peer mentoring for academic, they organise social events, there's an eco group, there's a diversity group. I mean, so
eco group, what do they do? Just collect rubbish?
Well, they come to me with lots of ideas about initiatives of tree planting, awareness, energy saving.
And you take them to your garden, yeah?
I tell you, no, I wish, I'd love to.
In the British education system, top grades alone don't guarantee a spot at university. Extracurricular activities, which form your activity list, are just as important. When the admissions committee has to choose between a straight A student and someone who not only excels academically, but was also actively involved in school life, they'll likely pick the latter.
Extracurricular is about physical activities in lots of ways, but also it's about intellectual growth and development. And what I want is for them to use our extracurricular plan, our extracurricular program, to write in their personal statements to university and show the other things that they're passionate about.
It's very important. Like if you go into medicine, do some charity work, for example, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think that, you know, if they can show that they're mentoring other students academically in their subjects, if they can show they're making a difference in, you know, the eco, for DOE, we have critical thinking, Model United Nations, debating activities,
debating as well.
So
social skills.
Absolutely. We just won a quiz with 28 other schools, a general knowledge quiz.
Bring it.
So I sent.
So what was that for?
So this was in London at St Mary's University. There's a group of schools called CEIF, which are schools very similar to us. So we entered a team into the general knowledge quiz, and they brought back the trophy, which is amazing.
Wow, you're so proud of you.
Yeah, you know, and for them, they had such a great time, and that will be a lifelong memory for them, going down and, you know, winning in this very grand occasion and coming away with the cup. So I'm keeping the cup with me.
Keeping your cup.
Absolutely.
It could be a nice holder for the phone.
Well, yeah. What I was thinking, I might just take it home, put it by my bed.
Yeah. Very good to meet you. Thank you very much, sir. Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Adil really enjoyed his conversation with the headmaster, and we hope you found the interview just as engaging. If you have any questions about MPW Cambridge College or other schools abroad, feel free to drop them in the comments. Or even better, ask us directly during a consultation with one of our educational experts. Thanks for watching and for giving us a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's all for today. See you next time.